One last topic that we need to cover in relation to experiments is the idea of blinding. And blinding is yet another way to control variables that might interfere with the results of your experiment. And there are two types of blinding. The first type is called a single-blind study. And in a single-blind study, that simply means that the subject does not know which treatment he or she is receiving. So I'll go back to the idea of testing to see whether or not a drug is effective. So in a single-blind study where you were testing a new drug, you would randomly assign each subject in your study to either receive the drug itself or to receive the placebo. But obviously you don't want the people in your study to know whether they're getting the drug or the placebo, because if you know that you're getting the placebo, you're psychologically going to set yourself up to not react to the drug because you know you're not actually getting it. But if you can't tell whether you're getting the drug or not, then you won't know, or you won't be unintentionally influencing any sort of results from the experiment. You won't know whether you're feeling better because you're actually getting the drug and that's helping to treat whatever malady you have, or if the placebo is actually just making you think that you're getting the drug and you're actually just sort of psychologically tricking yourself into feeling better. So that's a single-blind study. The other type of blinding is a double-blind study. And in this case, just like with a single-blind study, the subject doesn't know what treatment he or she is getting, but also the person who's taking the measurements. So the researcher doesn't know which treatment each subject has received. Now that doesn't mean that no one knows, because obviously if no one knew which treatment everyone got, then how could you possibly make any sort of conclusion from your data? This just means that there's some other researcher who is keeping track of who has received which treatment. Just that whoever is recording the results, that individual doesn't know which subject got what. And as you can probably see, this is actually a good method in your experimental design, because then there's absolutely no way that, intentionally or not, either the subject or the person taking the measurements could influence the results of the experiment. If no one knows which treatment each person got, then the data is not going to be skewed one way or the other. Because you can sort of imagine a situation where if the researcher does know which treatment the subject has received, even unintentionally, they could say something, they could behave in such a way that would sort of tip off the subject to know whether or not they had received the drug or the placebo.